Hello and welcome to today's lesson. I'm your hard-working but indefatigable teacher, Mr. Burton. You will need to watch this video and take notes as you go. You may need to watch certain parts of the video a few times to ensure complete understanding. This is your homework and I will check your notes tomorrow before we get started. I hope you learned something.
Okay, welcome to today's topic. We are still on indirect taxes, but today specifically we're looking at the higher level component. So we're playing around with supply and demand functions today to see how a change in supply will affect equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity demanded and supplied. So we know we can calculate the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity supplied and demanded for any good if we know their demand and supply functions. So the demand function takes the form QD equals A minus BP. The supply function QS equals C plus DP. And we've got examples here, QD equals 100 minus 10p. And we've got a supply equation example as well. QS equals minus 20 plus 10p. Okay, let's have a look at the two equations here. Demand equation, supply equation. Quantity demanded equals 100 minus 10p. Quantity supplied equals minus 20 plus 10p. Now we know when something is in equilibrium in economics, in the market, quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. So 100 minus 10p must equal negative 20 plus 10p. So demand equals supply. The demand equation is equal to the supply equation. And now we just need to simplify to find P. P being the price. So we're taking the negative 20 over the other side of the equals sign. So that becomes plus 20. 100 plus 20 minus 10p. That makes it 120 minus 10p equals 10p. 120, we take that negative 10p over the other side of the equal sign. This means we now add it to the initial 10p. So 120 equals 10p plus 10p. 120 equals 20p. And then we simply divide that 120 out by 20. So price must equal $6. Okay. Now, a simple substitution to find the equilibrium quantity. When price equals $6, quantity supplied equals negative 20 plus 10p. P is 6. QS equals negative 20 plus 10 times 6. Negative 20 plus 60. The quantity supplied is 40 units at equilibrium, which means quantity demanded must be 40 units as well. Now we bring in our indirect tax. The government implements a $2 per unit excise tax, a specific indirect tax. Now there's an easy rule we can apply to any supply function in the form of QS equals C plus DP to find the new supply function after a specific tax is applied. Price becomes price minus the tax. So that's pretty simple, right? We knew the price was $6. We know that the tax is $2, price minus T, P minus T, $6 minus $2. Our supply function with tax. Supply function, we know that the tax is 2, so we're subtracting 2 from P, the price here. Simplifying, negative 40 plus 10p, that becomes the new supply function. So pretty simple here. And with that new supply function, we can now solve for price at tax and quantity at tax. So equilibrium, Demand doesn't move, doesn't change, it stays the same. So we still have 100 minus 10p on that side of the equation. And now we have minus 40 plus 10p on the other. And we just need to simplify again to find p. Quantity supplied equals minus 40 plus 10p. We know our steps here. Step by step by step. And the equilibrium price goes to $7. Substitution with the new price at $7, we know that quantity supplied will decrease, and in this case, after we've gone through and done our working here with price at $7 now, quantity supplied becomes 30 units. And plotting in an indirect tax is no different to what we did in our higher level equilibrium, market equilibrium topic. So a supply equation, QS equals minus 20 plus 10p. Demand equation, that at initial equilibrium, we've worked that out. Price is $6, quantity demanded and supplied is 40 units. And then we have a decrease in supply that's caused by the indirect tax. We've gone away and calculated our new supply equation. We worked out that quantity supply equals negative 40 plus 10p and plotted the new supply curve associated with the specific indirect tax. All we're going to do is count up $2 on the price axis and plot 1 point and then draw a line through the point parallel to the initial supply curve. So plotting the first supply and demand curves is where the mathematics is. You don't need to do that same step to plot the second supply curve. All we need to do is count up on the price axis the amount of the indirect tax.